Hi everyone, and welcome back to Create's Community Arts Grants Info video series. In this video, we're going to be talking about partnerships. If this is the first video that you're seeing and you haven't seen the overview video, a video about the 3 different grant categories, or the how to apply video, please go ahead and watch those first, because otherwise this won't make much sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. If you're applying to either the project support or the arts education category and you're not a nonprofit, then you will have to have either a community partner or a fiscal sponsor. For the individual artist category, that is for individual people only. You don't have to be a nonprofit. You don't need to worry about this. But for those of you in project support or arts education, this could be for you. So again, if you're not a nonprofit, you do have to have either one of these, and I'll get into the differences between a community partner and a fiscal sponsor, how to do the whole process. If you are a nonprofit and you're applying to either of these grant categories, you don't have to have either a partner or a sponsor because you are already a nonprofit, you have that set, but you definitely can if you do want to. For instance, if you're doing like a concert series and you're doing it with another organization, you could include them into your application as a community partner. So for both community partners and fiscal sponsors, the main role that they're doing is extending their nonprofit status to you so that you can apply to this grant. So first off, with community partners, you might be pairing up with them so that they can offer you a venue or help find artists or plan whatever project that you're working on. They, again, extend their nonprofit status to you, but they do not receive the grant money directly. That is the biggest difference. Community partners do not receive the grant money directly. Fiscal sponsor would. So if you're going with a community partner and you're not a nonprofit, you're just an individual applicant who is receiving the grant money directly, Create is technically going to be your fiscal sponsor. And you should be aware that you will be issued a 1099 at the end of the year. That goes for all grant applications. And one tip that I can have just for this, if you're a little new to this process, just keep all of the receipts that you have, document everything that you are doing as well as you can. So for fiscal sponsors, this is someone who is going to accept the grant award on your behalf. So they'll be accepting any money that Create grants you. They, again, extend their nonprofit status to you so that you can apply to this grant. And then they, as your sponsor, will issue you a 1099 at the end of the year. So one question that often comes up when you're going for partnerships is if the fiscal sponsor or the community partner that you have can be a Niska funded organization, directly funded by Niska. And the answer is no, you cannot. So because this grant is funded through Niska's SCR program, that money is coming from the same pot as people who are applying directly to Niska. So they cannot act as they cannot, exchange any money with you throughout this process because there cannot be any overlap of the same funds coming from the same place. However, even though they can't act as your fiscal sponsor or partner, that doesn't mean that you can't connect with them and work with a Niska funded organization. So for instance, if you went to a local Niska funded nonprofit or community theater, for instance, and you wanted to do your performance or project or whatever it is at that location, that is totally okay, but there just can't be any crossover of funds. So the only thing that you could pay them for would be something like janitorial duties or money to have the lights on, but they cannot profit at all off of your Niska funded project. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about the details of this process, again, feel free to reach out to me. I know often projects are very different, lots of different situations. So sometimes just talking to us directly can help sort that out. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the process of including a partner or a sponsor in your application pretty quickly, just to make sure that when you do include this in your application, you have all your bases covered. So if you go onto the Create website, you can just type in createcouncil.org. You'll see in the top bar there, it still says Green Arts. We're still working on updating our website. But if you look here, this is our Community Arts Grants page, and you can go to How to Apply. Once you click on How to Apply, you'll see all of these links to the different application forms. So these are the different links to the actual applications online that you'll be working in. That we have more details on this whole process in our how to apply video. But if you look all the way at the bottom here, you'll see the partnership form. This is required for all applicants applying with partners. Clicking on that, you'll be able to download this form. So this is your partnership form where you can include all of the details about the partnership that you have. So all of their contact information. Really important here is noting if it's a community partner or a fiscal sponsor. We have the same form for both things, so please just make it really clear which it is. Then we'll have just the brief project description so that we can make sure it's lining up to your application. And then this is another really important part of this form, the agreement terms. So this is where you'll list all of the agreed upon terms of your partnership. So being extending nonprofit status, offering up use of their space, acting as a fiscal sponsor. Make sure that you have all of these details and every aspect of the partnership talked about with your sponsor before you apply. Sometimes people rush this at the last minute and they don't even really talk to their partner before applying. Make sure that they're aware of everything that is agreed upon before you apply. In some cases, people will come back afterwards and be like, oh, we didn't know this part of this process. And it's a lot harder to change your agreement and how the grant is being issued to you after the fact. So please keep that in mind. You'll see here again, the contributions are in kind. So in kind would be something like use of the space, cash, like if they're donating separate from the grant to the project, or combination. And then of course, the place to sign for both of you. So just so you know what it looks like in the application form as well, this is the very first question on any of the applications, except for, again, individual artists, which don't require partners at all. So you'll have the application name here. So this is the nonprofit applying. If you're not a nonprofit, but you're applying with a sponsor or partner, you'll just put your name, even if it's an unincorporated group, in this section here. And then underneath, you'll have your community partner or fiscal sponsor. Farther down in the application, you'll see here the partner information. So this is, again, their contact information. And again, where you can write if they're a community partner or fiscal sponsor. We want to make sure it's not a Niska applicant, so make sure to check that. And then finally, this is where you'll upload your documents for your partnership. So you do need to have at least one recommendation letter from a local individual or organization who has a relationship with you. That could be from your partner or from a separate entity. Next would be that partnership letter agreement. So that would be the form that we just looked at from the website. And then proof of the partner's residence. Again, the partner or sponsor that you have has to be coming from the same county where the project is taking place and where you're applying. And I will just mention here again that if you are looking to do a project in, for instance, Greene County, but you live in Dutchess or something, you can have a partner or sponsor who is from Greene County, and that will allow you to do the project there and receive funding in that county. So again, with any questions you have regarding partnerships, sponsorships, application forms, anything at all, feel free to reach out to me at maeve@createcouncil.org. I would love to meet with you and help you through this process. I know especially partnerships can be a real headache. So my whole job, that's the reason I'm here, is to help you through that process. And as always, please make sure if you reach out to me for a one-on-one meeting, try to do that at least 2 weeks before the application deadline, since that is when most people are trying to finish up last minute things and definitely more slammed. Okay, so thank you all so much for your interest in this grant program, and I look forward to seeing your applications. Thanks.